and the second half of August is gonna be killer. I'm going on vacation, but I'm gonna need a vacation from my vacation. Okay, so we got our stuff planting here. These kitchens are the wrong way around. Do I care enough to change it? Yeah, I do. Of course, now because they're bigger, I can't fit them next to each other. Crap. I'll have to move this. That looks better. Okay, so this is being made. We need to recycle a few things. Yeah, my whole PS3 adventure has been annoying, to say the least. I was eventually, I'm not gonna say forced, but yeah, I'm gonna say forced to essentially hack my PS3 because Sony doesn't let me buy games from them anymore. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but that's how it is. The PS3 store doesn't work anymore. You can't actually buy any games. You can still buy physical copies of the games, but you can't buy anything digitally. If you try, it tells you that your payment details are not correct, and then if you want to change them, you can't, because you can't add any new payment details. The only way you can buy stuff on PS3 store now is if you can somehow add funds to your Steam, not Steam, the Sony wallet, and you can't. It won't let me do that either. So like, okay Sony, you won't let me give you any money? Fine then. I'm gonna hack your console. Absolute pricks. And that's difficult for me to say because I'm a Sony fanboy. I only had, well, not only, but most of the consoles I had throughout my life were PlayStation consoles. I still have all of them except for the 5, and I'll have that one as well at some point. All of my favorite games were and are on PlayStation, and I love them, and I still play them, I still have them, all the discs, all the consoles. I kept them alive for 30 years, and then Sony says, sorry, your money is not good here. Oh, go to hell. Yeah, as you can hear from my voice, I am quite annoyed. Oh, nice. I'll try to catch those streams then. I keep trying to jump even though there is no jumping in this game. Oh, Foxy. I'll get some strawberries and help you. Right. Another positive thing that's becoming an annoyance is I'm upgrading my network, and the service provider said that they're gonna show up at some time during the next 10 days. That was 4 days ago. They still haven't shown up. But they did bill me already, even though they already gave me the bill for the last month. So they've billed me twice. They've billed me twice, but I still don't have my new internet speed, which I've paid for. Not having the exact date is annoying, but what's more annoying is that they've billed me twice and they haven't given me the service that they're selling me. So I was telling my wife we're giving them until Saturday, and if nobody calls us or shows up by Saturday, we're gonna cause some complaints. What's even worse is the guy that was the agent that was giving us the whole deal and giving us the service specifically said that he's gonna make it so that we don't get billed twice. Guess what happened next? Tree that needs to be cut down. There we go. There should be some items under the bridge, I believe, but you can't cross a stream because this is the most deadly obstacle of all, a stream. There's the streamer. Now this door can't be unlocked because this goes to the final area in the game. So until you reach that point you can't go through this door. There's gonna be a bunch of upgrades purchased after the next batch of food is grown. I think there is still a day. At least I don't have to worry about watering the plants anymore since I have got the sprinklers, which are very conveniently not requiring any kind of a fuel or piping. They just work. This is a shortcut. This goes to the village area. Can unlock this. Well, no, I need to find the switch, which is probably under this pile over there. Switch, and that opens up the shortcut. Well, this place is almost cleared up. Oh, I got one for free. There's our little chicken hero. Oh, you were playing CNC Renegade? Oh, when I start my Command & Conquer franchise run, that's gonna be one of my favorite games to stream. Renegade is such an underrated gem. It had one of the best multiplayer modes back when it was new. Severely, and it had a cult following for a long time, so much so that there was a mod made for it in Unreal Tournament 4 engine. Yeah, it's different when you revisit it, because when you played it originally, it wasn't just because you were younger, but also because back then it was brand new and it was the top of what technology could do. When you look at it today, it is kind of obsolete and stiff, but it's still an excellent game. I would love if that game was remastered, because we can play that multiplayer again. I saw the typo game. If you will excuse me, so there are so many typos in the game. Well, the remaster that I wish for when it comes to Renegade is a Renegade with a modern concept of gameplay and maps, you know, because the class-based system for the multiplayer was very rudimentary, and the way that you could destroy buildings was also very, you know, this'll do. And that you had to set up the ion cannon beacon into the center of the barracks to destroy the enemy base and win. And those things were kind of, you know, we could do without. Also because they used game single-player heroes for some of the character classes. Some of those were broken and there was no limit on them, so you could have like 3 or 4. I can't remember what's the name of the character, but he has some kind of a railgun sniper or something, or Tiberium sniper, which was severely overpowered. What's the most hilarious thing from Renegade, from the original one, is the lip syncing. It had one of those early mouth animation movement in that engine, and it just looks ridiculous. But yeah, I like Renegade. I like the single player, I love the multiplayer, and I wish that game was remade. So not a remaster, but a remake, essentially. But you know, that would require for Command & Conquer series to become relevant again. And EA has made it clear that they are not planning to make any more titles. They just... Even the remaster for the original Command & Conquer wasn't done by EA. I can't even remember what was the development team behind that. And I think it was a... I'm not sure about this, but I think the whole story with the Command & Conquer Remaster was a fan project that they decided to finance or something. I'm not sure, I could be wrong about that. Or mixing it up with something else. Petroglyph, yeah. Petroglyph, you're correct. Yeah, they are mostly former Westwood employees, which makes sense. They had proper love for the game. Instead, that was one of their original children, so to speak. It's difficult to explain to young people today what Command & Conquer meant when it was new. It was what Warcraft 1 did for the fantasy, no, what Warcraft 2 did for the fantasy world, that's what Command & Conquer 1 did for the entire real-time strategy scene. The games that came were defined by what Command & Conquer did for years to come. I could be wrong, but there was a turn-based Command & Conquer game on mobile. Didn't do very well. It's funny how time changes your perspective about when it comes to mobile games and free-to-play games. I used to be fully for them. Or like, yeah, that's a great idea, great concept, we should have more of that even if it's not perfect. The older I get, the more I realize that they're just money-grabbing schemes and a bad idea. You know, free-to-play game concept is great on paper, you know, it's a free game, you can join in and you don't have to spend any money, but you can if you want to, but you're not required to. You can get most out of the game for free. But then as you realize, hold on, in order for this game to survive, it needs to somehow earn money. Especially if it's a free-to-play, that's usually an online game, which means the online web services need to somehow survive. The developers need funds to keep updating it, to keep it alive, to keep it relevant. And if the game is free, then how are you gonna get that? Well, you're gonna put in microtransactions. And then when you put in the microtransactions, how are you gonna make people spend money? Well, you make it pay to win. There's maybe a handful of games that are free to play that are actually good, that have a fair model that you can actually play normally and not be required to essentially cough up a lot of cash. I think Warface is it Warface? The Tenno and can't remember. I don't play free-to-play games anymore, so... And I never could get into Warframe, not Warface, Warframe. Warface is a different story. Warface is... Don't play Warface. Warface is a bad game. Warframe, however, is a very good game. Even though I never got into it myself, I can see its qualities, and it's one of the very few games that are free-to-play and actually have a good model and actually can reward you for your gaming experience even if you don't pay anything for it. Of course, eventually you will be tempted to, but it's optional and it's not harming your gameplay, and getting that balance properly is extremely difficult. So it's not a wonder that not many games can pull it off. But that's why my view on the subject has changed over the years. Now I'm against free-to-play games. I'm all for the games to be fairly priced and properly developed. Oh, new recipes. But they don't have to be free. I would rather a game be not free, so it's for profit, but it's made properly. And I'll be honest with you, you don't really get to expect that out of big-time developers these days. most people, most studios and developers who do fulfill that promise are indie devs. I've said this before, I've talked about this before. Small studios and indie devs, of course, not all of them are good, but most of the gems I play these days are from smaller studios that just care about their projects rather than the big time developers. I don't even remember when I really liked a game made by a AAA studio. I was gonna say World of Tanks and World of Warships, but I will tell you this. I have been playing World of Tanks for a number of years. I have 5 or 6 tier 10 tanks, and I did put some money into that game. And I don't regret it. That was money well spent. The game is fun. However, the community on World of Tanks is so freaking horrible that I'm probably never gonna rejoin that game ever again. That's another problem with these, not just free-to-play games in general. Sometimes it's the community that just ruins it for you. Also, World of Tanks has both World of Tanks and World of Warships have a very high learning curve. Very steep learning curve. They're difficult to play. Not as difficult as World of War Thunder. They're easier than War Thunder, but yeah, you have to be willing to spend a lot of your time learning to play the game, which is something that turns me off of those games. I don't like when I have to spend a lot of time learning how to play or face everybody's wrath. That's just not a selling point for me. No. When I have to spend half my time playing the game, learning how to play it so that I don't suck. It's one thing if it wouldn't be a bad thing if the other players let you learn, but as it is so often the case, they will just go all toxic on you and won't either get you to learn or anything. So yeah, it's a difficult proposition. Oh, that's the thing. War Thunder is one of those games that I love and hate at the same time, because I love War Thunder because it has so many vehicles and they're all so beautifully modeled, and I love playing with them. And I think I got up to tier 5 on German tanks. I've played it a fair bit. What I don't like about War Thunder, first of all, is their free-to-play model, which the grind is, oh my god, the grind is incredibly arduous. Even if you pay, the grind is horrible. And the second thing I don't like about War Thunder is that it's a simulation. Because if you find yourself in a bad place on the map at a bad time, you're going to just immediately die. And there were so many instances where I was like, hold on, how did this player kill me? How did this shot get through my armor? And all of these ridiculous things would happen to you constantly because it's a simulation. So it would just... You would pump shot after shot into the enemy tank and barely may make a scratch, and then one shot comes from him and you're in the same tier, the same caliber, and you get killed and it doesn't. And then I even went to the trouble of watching tutorial videos and how to play videos, and I was like, but I'm doing that. I'm aiming for those same spots. I'm using that same ammunition. And I'm still not getting the results. And then I started reading the comments, and of course, the truth of the story is a lot of those players that kill me instantly use premium ammo. So it's pay to win, essentially. And that was just like, no, I'm not playing this anymore. I'm not wasting any more time on this. It's not fun. It's not fun just getting constantly spawn killed and constantly obliterated where you don't even see the enemy. Yeah, that's why I prefer, when I played, I preferred World of Tanks to War Thunder, because World of Tanks is completely arcadey. It's not a simulation at all. And that worked for me. That was great. It's just that the toxic community was just like, no, I'm not playing this anymore, go to hell. Oh, it has, I'm calling it premium ammo. There is special types of ammo that you have to buy with credits. So yeah, you can purchase it, but it costs you. World of Tanks has quote-unquote premium ammo, or gold ammo. War Thunder has premium vehicles, which are, well, they're crapshoot in themselves, but yeah, there's also ammo you can buy for real money. Just that goes through everything, like firing railguns. I think for me it was I think that the moment I decided I'm gonna uninstall War Thunder and never play it again was when I unlocked the mouse, which is tier 7, I think. Not sure, I don't remember anymore. I had the mouse and somebody killed me from the front, and I was like, seriously, you shot through a mouse from the front? And I was just like, no, uninstall the game and never going back. It's just ridiculous. For those who don't know, Mouse is one of the heaviest tanks, no, not one of the heaviest, the heaviest tank ever built. 100 and something tons. Only one was ever truly made. It was a super tank, but of course it was never completed, never fielded. 2 prototypes were built, only one was completed and was captured. It wasn't even made properly, but it has 40 centimeters of frontal armor, if I'm not mistaken, 400 millimeters or 200 millimeters, not sure. In any case, a very, very thick frontal sloped armor. And somebody shot me from the front and killed me. I was like, okay, this is the point where, this is my station, this is where I get off. Screw this, I'm not playing this anymore. This is ridiculous. You know, this game, War Thunder is a simulation, so it tries to simulate everything, including ammunition, penetration, deflection, everything. And somebody killed me from the front while I was in a mouse. One shot, of course, because it's a simulation. I was like, okay, I'm out. That's it. Let's go home. It's just, it doesn't matter what kind of tank I was matched against. You don't one-shot a mouse from the front